love an album but find there's always at least one song in it that's not up to the standard of the rest. This podcast is for you. Welcome to Trimming Musical Fat, and I'm Stephen Nicholson, and thank you for joining me for the latest Trimming the Classic episode, a Patreon exclusive. And the subject of today's episode is Radiohead's mid-90s classic, The Bends. My guest and I will pick a song from the album that we like the least. We'll also select our favourite songs and discuss the album as a whole. So, time to introduce my guests. So, welcome, friends of the podcast, Davie Melon and Ross Braidwood. How are you, gentlemen?
Not bad at all.
Very good, yeah.
Good. So, let me start you off, gents, with 3 questions. So, what was the first single released from the Bends?
Street Spirit.
Was it not Fake Plastic Trees?
You think it's Fake Plastic Trees? Ross, are you sticking with your Street Spirit?
Yep.
No, that was the last one.
Was it?
Yeah, definitely.
It was My Iron Lung.
Oh.
Was it?
It was, yes.
Was that not like an extended EP as well?
I think it was, yes.
That was my first ever memory of Radiohead that I can think of. Was the chart show, and it was Street Spirit video, the black and white, and I remember that. That's my first memory. I might have heard Creep, maybe before that, a couple of years, but I don't remember. But that's my first thing, so that's where I kind of opted for that as being the first single.
Okay, well, question 2: what is the shortest track on the album, Davie?
Nice Dream.
Nice Dream, okay. Ross? Just, yeah, well, you are just wrong. It is Bones.
Bones. Oh,
and the final question, maybe the easiest one actually, which song is this line from? Don't get my sympathy, hanging out the 15th floor, change the locks 3 times, still come reeling through the door.
The Bends.
Okay, Davie?
Yeah. The Bends or Planet Telex.
Is it really
every time? Planet Telex.
Oh, Jesus, guys, you're doing
I'm
well
actually
tonight.
saying
It's just.
I said just, is it?
Don't get my sympathy, hanging out on the 15th floor.
I just panicked with the Bends.
Ross put me off by saying the Bends. It's like, oh no, that's just be right off. Because I'm just singing it in my head.
Right, guys, let me give you some info about.
We are massive Radiohead fans.
Yeah, allegedly. So let me maybe fill in some of the blanks and give you some information about it. So The Bends is the second studio album by the English rock band Radiohead, released in March 1995 and produced by John Leckie. The band moved away from the grunge style of their debut album Pablo Honey, incorporating cryptic lyrics, greater use of keyboards, more abrasive guitar tracks and more restrained arrangements. There were 6 singles from the album, which were My Iron Lung, a double A-side, High and Dry, and Planet Telex, Fake Plastic Trees, Just, Street Spirit Fade Out, and The Bends. And Street Spirit became the band's first top 5 UK single. So the album reached number 4 on the UK album chart, but only 88 in the US. However, it has since been certified platinum in the UK and the US, and it was ranked 110 on Rolling Stone's 2003 list of the 500 greatest albums. So Ross, let me come to you. I know this is one of your all-time favourite albums. When did you first hear it?
Probably not that far after it was released, because I think I bought this pretty early on. And it was the only Radiohead album I actually probably had for quite a few years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it came out in 95, so either late 95, early 96, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it would have been. So yeah, and it still is my favourite Radiohead album. And for me, one of the best guitar albums of all time. It still sounds great.
Yeah. So big fan of it then. Okay. What's your favourite song on the album, Ross?
again, similar to the Joshua Tree episode, don't really have one, but I'm going to go with pick a less obvious, go an album track, and it would be Black Star.
What are we coming to? What are we gonna do? Blame it on the black star. Blame it on the falling sky. Blame it on the satellite.
And obviously, the purpose of the episode today is to remove a song we feel is not deserving of being on the album. So, which would be the song you would, if you were held at gunpoint and had to remove a track from the album, what would that track be?
Planet Telex.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I've never been a huge. I like it. I've never been a huge fan of it. And when you compare it to other tracks, it's it's definitely the one. It was easy. It was easy, but it's not. It's not that it's a pure song, but it's just there's a bit of difference in the quality.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for me, it's a probably the weaker song.
It's an outrageous choice, Ross. Outrageous. Big fan of Planet Telex, and it's quite ironic. I think was Planet Telex, if I remember correctly, not the last song recorded for the Bends, but it's the most futuristic sounding one at the time.
It does. It sounds probably a bit closer to OK Computer, doesn't it, in terms of production?
Yeah.
And yeah, because maybe that's the reason it doesn't quite sit as well as maybe the other songs. But
yeah. No, something like it was the first song recorded, the last song recorded for the album, I'm sure. Big fan of Planet Telex. Sadly, you're not. Okay, thanks for that, Davey. What about yourself? When did you first hear the Bends?
So I think like it would have been around about 1995, just after it came out. I would say. I think shortly before it, I had like a one of these musical mixtapes that I think it was an indie one. I think it was called Untitled.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. And I remember listening to that and then hearing Creep on that, having never heard it before on telly or anything like that. And I just oh, what the hell was that? And just had to rewind it because it was a tape to play it again. I went, who is this band? And then seeing the videos on MTV when they used to play videos. Unlike now, I've just really loved seeing High and Dry. I'm getting that, and I've just been in love with them ever since. And it's probably one of the greatest albums, bar OK Computer of the 90s.
So what's your favorite track on it, Davey?
Well, I'm going to arm wrestle Ross here because it's Planet Telex.
Yes, yes. Go on, Davey.
That's funny because that happened with Joshua Tree, Stephen, didn't it?
Did that? Yeah.
Was that one?
Go on, Davey.
Planet Telex. What a perfect opening song to the album. It's just so rocky, grungy type. Oh, it's incredible. I love it.
Yeah,
and the lyrics as well. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's like music beamed in from another planet, isn't it? Everything that's going on in it. Yeah. Only a fool would not like it, Davey.
I might need to reassess this. So.
And Davey, what song would you take off the album?
Well, it was a hard one. It's it was a really tough decision to make. Now I know how Simon Cowell feels in Judge's House, is it?
Yeah.
So much quality going on there. But unlike that, this there's just 12 absolute perfect songs, and I boiled it down to Nice Dream or Bulletproof I Wish I Was. And even just when I listened to them individually, I'm like, no, you can't get rid of that one. You can't get rid of that one. But I think I settled on a Nice Dream in the end.
Gave me sunshine, made me happy. Nice dream, nice dream, nice dream.
Come on. Outrageous. Ross, tell him why it's a bad idea.
All right, Bulletproof.
Nice Dream.
Bulletproof, I'll let you have that.
Well, Bulletproof's probably the more depressing song in the album, isn't it? I bet,
Yeah.
it's a bit of depressing. But it's a good tune, though. Good tune. Nice Dream
Yep.
is pretty good as well.
Yeah.
They're all individually, they're all brilliant songs. But if you've got to pick one, then you've just got to go away what you probably least like.
Yeah, exactly. All like different things. I mean, for me with the album, I kind of had a strange. It took a while for me to get the album. I must have got it, and so the album came out in '95. I maybe only got it in February '96, and it took a long road to get there. So I love the song Creep, but I never bought the Pablo Honey album. I loved the Just single and video, and I did buy the CD single of Just, brilliant song. I then heard Nice Dream on a free compilation cassette that was given away with the NME, and Nice Dream was on it, and I thought that is absolutely brilliant. And then on a holiday, a friend of mine had a compilation album which had My Iron Lung in it, and I thought that was just absolutely incredible. So I think at the time I was also maybe reading Q Magazine, who were doing their annual end of year 1990, and it was 1995 year end review, going through their best albums. I think the Bends won it for that year, I'm pretty sure. So after all that, I thought I'd better go around and buy it. And I don't love it as much as you guys. For me, I think it's an excellent album, but I wouldn't say I love it, but it is excellent. We really need to do an episode dedicated fully to the Bends, because there are some amazing B-sides for the singles on this album. And if I could put them onto the Bends, that would be a bit of a game changer for me.
Yeah, my favourite song on that album would be a fight between three songs, which are Nice Dream, Just, and My Iron Lung. And ironically, they're all in a row right in the middle of this album. But I'm going to go for My Iron Lung.
Says I'm receiving pain, a lack of oxygen from my life support, my
I love the guitars on it, and that main descending guitar part in the song is beautiful. I think Tom's vocals on it are superb, as is the band's playing. And the song just really packs a punch. My least favourite song would be Silk, and it's not a bad song, I just prefer others more. Simple as that.
Sometimes you suck, sometimes you burn. God rest your soul, and when love becomes a river, ready to go. Just like you did, you never change.
But I repeat, there's some brilliant B-sides from the singles on this album, like Banana Co and Bishop's Robes.
Run out of come. We really love you. I'ma need you. Run out of come. Would really love to believe you, but everything's underground. We gotta dig it up somehow.
So thanks to Davie and Ross for guesting, and thanks to you for listening and being a patron of the podcast. Our next Patreon exclusive episode is a Trim in the Classic episode dedicated to Queen's Sheer Heart Attack album. And our next full episode is a Hidden Prime Cut 1 on the Queen track Mad the Swine. So until then, keep trimming.
I love it. I love it.